Up, fight fans? What's going on out there? It's the homie, main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, going down on Wednesdays and Saturdays here on Main Man, Made Man's Boxing. Man, I hope y'all out there cooling this morning. Live from the DMV, 10:57 a.m. Rainy morning. Dewy type morning, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I actually like mornings like this, you know what I'm saying? Sitting out here in the rain, blending with nature. I live in nature, you know what I mean? So it's all good with me. But it is what it is, man. So I hope y'all cooling out there. Y'all can see from the paint on my shirt. I'm in the house painting, so I'm just cooling. But I thought I'd take a minute, chop it on up with the boxing fans and see what's good. You know what I'm saying? John Lejeune, good morning. What's up, good brother? Good morning to you, man. You know, so y'all see the title of the particular live, and we're gonna talk about DAZN in this particular live stream right here, and we're gonna go a little deep, man. During yesterday's live stream, salute to the homie Trill Boxing Talk came in. He asked a very, very good question, and he said that how do you think that DAZN is going to be after this coronavirus stuff? Do you think they will basically survive this? My answer to him was, I think they'll be extremely wounded. I think they'll take a lot of hits financially, but I think they'll make it out limping. You know what I mean? Now, how long they'll live after that, only time will tell. I don't know. I think they'll come out extremely weakened, but I think they can survive, mainly because of the money that they getting and who is bankrolling them. So let's go in, fight fans. So it said that DAZN, we all know that DAZN. Now, when we think of this DAZN streaming service, the newest streaming service to host boxing, this is the reason that I'm talking about it, and amongst others. This is the newest streaming service that hosts boxing. They've signed some pretty good names like Demetrius Andrade. We know that they signed pretty much, locked up the whole Golden Boy stable, locked up pretty much most of the Matchroom stable to be viewed here in America. They got Anthony Joshua. They got Canelo Alvarez, of course, Gennady Golovkin, amongst others. So they have been tossing money around left and right. And a lot of the fans are not so much happy with what they're getting from DAZN. Some are, some aren't. Some want bigger fights. DAZN needs bigger fights, fight fans. So let's go into it. Now, DAZN, for those who don't know, started out as a company called the Perform Group. The Perform Group was then broke down into two entities, in which one half of the company was called the DAZN Group for Consumer Content Operations, which is where you get the app and everything like that. And then the other half of the company was called the Perform Content for Business to Business Sports Data Services. As time has progressed, the Perform Group has sold one half of the company, which is the Perform Content for Business to Business Sports Data. They've sold that. They sold that to a company called Vista Equity Partners. They sold that for $500 million. They then took that $500 million and went and bought sports rights all around the world. So this led people to questions of, why isn't DAZN making enough revenue to where they can go out and acquire more sports rights without having to sell half of their company? Let's take a deeper look. DAZN is owned or ran by bankrolled by a billionaire. The billionaire name is Len Blotvinnik. Len Blotvinnik is worth $25 billion. His parent company pretty much bankrolls DAZN. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much own DAZN. And since 2016, from what I understand, this Mr. Blotvinnik has pumped about $2.2 billion into DAZN. Facts. DAZN's best year on record so far, has been from 2017 to 2018. That has been the best year of DAZN. Let's look at the numbers real quick, fight fans, real quick. According to Sports Pro Media, DAZN's revenue increased 136% from 2017 to 2018. It says it made about $277 million. They seen in advertising revenue across all its sports properties. It says that they also raised an additional $77 million from additional advertising revenue. Pretty much that was their best year. 2017 to 2018. 2018 come around. DAZN rolls out into the United States. They give Eddie Hearn $1 billion to play with and say, make 32 fight dates with your Matchroom stable, form Matchroom USA, and infiltrate the USA market. I'm giving you $1 billion. That's what they did in 2018. However, in 2018, that was also one of the worst years on record for DAZN. DAZN bled through money a mile going north in 2018. They bled through money. They had to be pumped up once again by this particular billionaire. And the billionaire, Len Blotvinnik, his company, Access Industries, which is the parent company, pumped $848 million into DAZN in 2018. Not to mention a Japanese agency, Dentsu Aegis, pumped another $391 million into DAZN in 2018. So 848 from Blotvinnik and 391 from Dentsu in 2018. But they had to acquire and fund it. That's just 2018. It said that DAZN's subscriber base in the United States is roughly about 800,000. Their projections for growth where they needed to land at was about 3 million. 3 million. They're saying they're roughly at about 800,000. And now here we are at coronavirus. So with DAZN needing funding at every turn, pretty much since 2016, needing funding at every turn, selling half of their company to go out and buy more sports rights. It said that DAZN, as of today, in total sports rights acquisitions, owns $6.1 billion worth of sports rights acquisitions around the world. It said that the big year from 2017 to 2018, where DAZN had that monster year, their biggest revenue generator, aside from the advertising, as far as subscriptions are concerned, came from Asia fight fans. The second came from Europe. America's numbers are hurting. They're at 800,000. After this coronavirus is over, who knows how many cord cutters we talking about? If that 800,000 that DAZN is hanging on in the United States drops to say 400,000, how does this hurt DAZN? DAZN, we see the news out today of Canelo Alvarez saying that he wants to face Gennady Golovkin, and Gennady Golovkin is saying no. So the question swirls that DAZN needs this fight. They need this fight. Because ever since they've signed Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez, and a whole host of other fighters, they haven't been making anything. It hasn't been translating in the subscription box. These are the facts, fight fans. Their biggest fights on record are all done by Canelo Alvarez. When people say how big Canelo Alvarez really is, know this. Canelo Alvarez is carrying Golden Boy and DAZN, at least the boxing portion of DAZN, on his back. Facts. All of DAZN's highest rated fights are all Canelo Alvarez's. All Canelo Alvarez's. They need Canelo. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz did very well in Saudi Arabia. Did very well. But now DAZN is on a new mission. And their mission is, we got to start splashing it into these major markets with boxing and laying our foundation. They cannot take over in the United States because the ESPN pluses of the world ain't gonna let them. Now, ESPN has Disney pockets. Their pockets are deep. They will survive the coronavirus. As for Showtime, Showtime is not based into sports programming. They have one little section of their whole company that deals with boxing and a couple other sports, but mostly they show movies and TV shows and stuff like that. They will survive the coronavirus. DAZN, without this Gennady Golovkin Canelo Alvarez fight, without a big fight, they got some big fights on the horizon. They got Anthony Joshua got to come back. But man, they have no room here in the United States right now. They just bought up some Major League Baseball rights. It's a start, you know what I'm saying? But they got a lot of ground to make up, and ESPN ain't having it. This is the reason why DAZN acquired John Skipper. John Skipper formerly used to work at ESPN, right? Well, John Skipper is doing his exact same blueprint that he did at ESPN. He's doing it over at DAZN. And that is buy all of the sports rights that you can find. You can find. But the question, John Skipper, you're just burning money. Burning it. The subscriptions, no one's signing up. How much is Blatvinik going to keep bankrolling DAZN? What if he pulls the plug and say, you know what? I can't keep pulling my. He's poured over 2.2 billion into DAZN as of now. When will the spigot get turned off? If the spigot gets turned off. So DAZN now is having problems splashing into America. They're having problems splashing into the UK now, especially given coronavirus. We all know Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders was supposed to be the very first fight that DAZN was going to broadcast in the United Kingdom. Their competitors in Sky Sports and BT Sports, well, quite honestly, it's going to be a fight. And I think DAZN might come out on top. Why? Because DAZN is in business with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's deal with Sky Sports runs out in 2021. Anthony Joshua's deal with Sky Sports runs out in 2021. Is DAZN going to try to scoop everything from Eddie? Is he going to try to take the entire Matchroom? Not just Matchroom USA, but how about Matchroom UK as well as Anthony Joshua? Then where would Sky Sports be at? Where will they be? They need Eddie Hearn to pull that coup. They need him to pull that coup over at Sky Sports. They need him to pull all of those fighters and sign them on over here to DAZN so we can effectively get Sky Sports out the market. That's the move. Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez was going to be the spearhead that led that off. But now we got coronavirus. What's going to happen here? It's going to happen. I don't know, fight fans. I don't know. Like I said, DAZN, man, they got a lot of money to play with after all of this said. They do got money to play with, but how much, man? They got to turn a profit, fight fans. Let's see what y'all talking about. Ariel HL says it is concerning, main man. Hopefully they survive. Yeah, man. You know, it's very concerning. I want to know why ESPN isn't included in Disney Plus. Outrage. Yeah, Disney gonna try to stretch that as far as they can go, bro. If they can get as much money out of you for doing different platforms, you know they gonna do it. Muhammad Ali in the building. What's up, family? Has Eddie signed the boxers to Matchroom first and using DAZN as a platform, even if they go bust or leave America? Does Eddie still have ownership of the boxer? Absolutely. This is a network deal. This is a broadcasting deal. Eddie, what he does, he signs them up to his outfit first, and then DAZN has the rights to show all of Matchroom USA's fights. So anything that Eddie Hearn pretty much shows in America, DAZN has the right to show it, you know, no matter who that fight is. They have a right to show it, as long as they're under the Matchroom USA banner. Now, if they're under the Matchroom UK banner, such as your Anthony Joshua's and your Callum Smiths and stuff like that, well, those guys were being shown on Sky Sports in the UK. But that deal ends in 2021, and DAZN is going to look to take those guys. It's the only way that they're going to be able to survive in the UK. The question is, are they going to have the money, and are they willing to bleed more money to take on ownership of more fighters? Because their rights to show Eddie Hearn's fighters only extends to Matchroom USA. It doesn't extend to Matchroom UK. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But it clearly shows y'all, man, you know, after reading all of these numbers, that they got Len Blatvinik, right, the billionaire, worth $25 billion. They also have a Japanese agency pumping them up. They gave them $391 million in 2018. So they have investors with deep pockets. Deep pockets. And these investors have been more than open to open up the books and give DAZN anything that they've asked for at this point. It should be a little bit concerning that DAZN had to sell off half of the company in order to acquire some money to buy sports rights, $500 million. That is concerning. It just shows you that they're not making revenue. And for them to have to be pumped up so much in 2018 So much. I mean, 848 million from Len Blavatnik in 2018. That's a lot of goddamn money. Where is the profits? You know what I mean? So, and they're saying that, like, this is an article that I had read a little earlier, and I think the numbers have increased. Last I checked, I thought the DAZN's subscription numbers was about 8 million worldwide and about 800,000 in the United States. But they're saying, like, with that number, like the amount of money that they're spending in sports rights acquisition, 6.1 billion. Like, the numbers of subscriptions that they have and the prices that they're charging, they're not making not even half of that 6 billion back. They're not even making half. My guess is they're going to have to make the rest up through advertising revenue. But in order for you to get more advertising revenue, you got to put on good damn fights or good events in general, whatever sports. You got to put it on. It's the only way. The DAZN's future is looking very questionable, fight fans. I'm going to be 100 with you. It's looking very questionable. It's good to know that they got bankrollers and they can may hang them around, but they got to turn a profit. I think, honestly, they made a big mistake in signing Gennady Golovkin. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the Gennady Golovkin signing was a smart signing for DAZN. They gave Gennady Golovkin over $100 million. You gave him all of these stock options and all of these, you want to give him this big Canelo fight, and he's brought nothing to the table for DAZN. Nothing. His fights are looked down upon. No one, everyone says that he's losing a step. He's going down. He's going out the door. The Deryevchenko fight, some people thought he lost.
Am I the meanest?
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Am I the prettiest? Sure, yeah. Am I the baddest mofo no down around this town?
Sorry about that, fight fans. I meant to put this joint on airplane mode, man. Yeah, man. So that's what it is, man. And like I said before, man, I hope this don't hang around. It looks dire.
Am I the meanest? Sure, yeah. Am I the prettiest? Sure, yeah.
How about that, fight fans? Oh, that's my homeboy. But yeah, man. Like I said, yo, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, their future is dire, man. And I hope they're going to have to continuously be pumped up with cash. They're going to lose a lot of their subscribers after this coronavirus stuff. They're going to lose it. And if that 800,000, I'm telling you, man, creeps down to the 500s, the 400s, and their UK invasion, if you will, is not successful, they're going to have some problems. They're going to have some problems. They're going to have some problems. I'm hoping this all works out good, fan, because if DAZN has to give us good fights, this will have to prompt the others to give us good fights. Everyone's going to have to give us good fights in order for us to keep our subscription money, in order to keep us from cutting the cord. So it's the only way. Give good fights or risk basically going out of business. You know what I mean? It's a simple solution. So we'll see. Those are the numbers, fight fans. DAZN is constantly being propped up. There's also been talks, and this is another. Let me cover this, man. DAZN ain't did themselves no favors when they put the news out a couple months ago that they are not paying for any games that are not being shown. Now, this is not going over too well with a lot of the sports leagues or whatever that they're in business with. They're saying that basically, like, hey, baseball, if we just did a deal with you, baseball, and you telling me that half of the season is going to be off because of coronavirus, well, guess what? We're not paying you for half of the season. And these clients are saying that, hey, man, that's not how we normally do business. In times like this, even if something like this go on, we still get paid. It's just the way the nature of the business is. I get DAZN's point of view. Hey, we ain't paying for something for a product that we don't have. If there's no games, why are we paying? If there's no fights, why are we paying? You know what I mean? But they saying that traditionally, this is how things have been done in the networking business. Even if something like this happens, for the sake of relationships, for the sake of having bridges to cross, we keep things going as if it's normal business. Now, all the other broadcasters, ESPN and Fox and NBC or whoever, they're all playing the game. They're all saying, no, we still gonna pay. We ain't got no problem with it. It is what it is. This is the way things has been. DAZN is coming to to the market like, oh no, we not paying for that. If it ain't showing it, we ain't paying it. And this effectively hurts their relationships going forward with all of these sports entities in the United States. Who's going to want to do business with DAZN knowing that y'all ain't going to pay us if something like this go on? They hurt their reputation big time coming out making that position. So that didn't do them no favors. That did not help them no way, shape, form, or fashion. So DAZN now has hurt their relationships if they go forward with that in the United States. The numbers are dwindling. They're still borrowing money a mile going north. The subscriptions are not improving like leaps and bounds. They're not improving. Their best year was 2017 to 2018. It had nothing to do with the United States. It had nothing to do with Europe. It was all Asia and advertising that got them that great year in 2017 and 2018. So we'll see, man. For the sake of boxing, we'll see. But at the end of the day, if DAZN fell apart in the boxing landscape, guess what? All of those pieces will be picked up and soaked up by someone else, and the sport will continue to live on. Real spill.
Am I the baddest mofo?
Sorry about that, man. People clearly don't want me to do a video this morning, so I'll hit y'all back later, man. All right? This damn thing.